I got him.
Hey YouTube, this is Pecktec, and as you might remember, back at the end of the summer, I brought home my first baby big fish. This is a Polypterus teugelsi, and I decided to name him Mr. Tubes. Now to me, Mr. Tubes is one of the most attractive species of Polypterus. In the wild, they're most commonly found in shady, slow-moving rainforest streams with lush overgrowths of marginal vegetation. This species gets to about 16 inches long. They like temperatures between 77 to 82 degrees. They like a pH of about 7 to 7.5. This species is carnivorous, and I haven't found it to be too particular about what I feed it. It seems to like cichlid pellets, and I've also fed it brine shrimp and bloodworms and a lot of meaty, protein-rich foods. Now, when I first got this little guy, he was around, I'd say 4 or 5 inches long, pretty small, and I had him in my fluval edge 12-gallon. Of course, I got him to go in the big tank. I mean, all along, the goal was to get this guy ready for the big tank, or get the big tank ready for him. Now, as time went on, I pulled him out of the fluval edge, and I put him in another 12-gallon tank. But I've really enjoyed getting to know him over the past couple of months as he kind of runs around in the tank. This is a really hardy species, and they are nocturnal. They have fairly poor vision, and but an excellent sense of smell, and that's how they root around for their food. The ancestors of this and other Polypterus species go all the way back more than 200 million years. That's all the way back to the Triassic period, which makes this a really, really interesting sneak peek back in time. When I did some research for keeping Polypterus, I learned a couple of things that you need to know. They have a modified lung so they can actually breathe air, and they very often come to the surface to get a gulp of air. So it's definitely important to make sure that the surface of your water is clear and doesn't have a big slime buildup or anything, or any surface scum built up on the surface, because it can coat their lungs as they come up for air. You need a tight-fitting lid with these guys. They are apparently adept escape artists. With these guys, you want sand or soil substrate, or no substrate at all, of course. They have poor vision, so they tend to gulp up their food. And if you have rocks or something like that, you risk them becoming impacted if they swallow something like that. Now it's finally the big day, and as you can see, he likes to lay across the side of the tank, which made it really handy to kind of quickly measure him. He's getting close to 9 inches or so now, and it's really time for him to move on to a bigger tank. This tank has not been able to kind of hold up with the bio load. It's getting kind of covered in algae and just really looking terrible. I'm going to have to throw probably like 20 Amano shrimp in here to kind of clean it up after I finally pull him out. This tank will get a quick cleaning just as soon as he's out of here. I've got my tank lids all straight. Everything's all buttoned down nice and tight. All that's left to do is just to kind of net him out and move him in. Netting him out wasn't super easy to do. Ended up getting a bunch of algae that I had to kind of avoid getting in the tank, but with the help of a great big net and a little bit of effort, I managed to get him loaded in just fine. It was so exciting to finally release him into his new home. I've been waiting for this moment for quite a while. And I'm very excited to kind of watch him explore all the little nooks and crannies I prepared for him in here. There's a lot of hides. I made a lot of hides in this specifically because I know that fish like this enjoy it. And you tend to see them more. If they've got a place to hide just about anywhere they go, you'll see them poking their head out a lot more often. All the shy species I know have always seemed to come out more if there's hides around. So if they feel like they can quickly disappear into the bushes, they'll feel a lot more comfortable coming out and kind of taking a look at you and see if you've got food for them, and especially when they get used to where they are. Now, when I put this particular tank together, I made it so that there are hides all the way down the length of the tank. As the plants and things really grow in, that little canopy there will make it really comfortable for them too. There's a nice alleyway that I made out of the plants and the available space. Basically, between that log and some of the plants, there's a nice little alleyway, and they can run back and forth or hide under there. There's a good bit of space that's, I don't know, it's meant to be kind of a comfort area right there in the middle of the tank. Now, I've only just put him in here, so it'll probably be a little while before he gets completely comfortable. I tried to lure him out with some food. It's really funny. Everybody else seemed to take through the food really quick, but of course, he creeped around and finally made his way over there. Eventually, he pushed his little face right through this thicket of bushes there and sucked up a little food before he disappeared back into the tank. That's about all I got for you guys this week. It's been really, really distracting having this huge tank here. I find that I spend way too much time sitting in the chair, just kind of watching things go. And now that Mr. Toops is in here, I've got all kinds of other little projects and stuff to finish up. I'm going to work on the sump a little bit. We're going to get the CO2 going. And it's all coming up real soon. Until next time, follow your bliss. Keep a clean tank. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.